Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our Survival Minecraft series. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of building. I did some work off camera that I'm going to show you in just a minute. Last episode I said that I was going to work on breeding some of our animals. And as you can see over here, we don't have too many in our pens, but that is because I have already gone through, I bred a ton of cows and I bred a ton of chickens so that I would have food and so that we could get leather for our books. So I am going to show you what we got here. So you can see we have one piece of leather, but we also have 19 bookcases. So as soon as we are ready to set up our enchanting table, we have everything that we need there. I also got a ton of flint from mining gravel. I'll show you why I was doing that in just a second. But I also got a ton of feathers from chickens, so we now have a stack of arrows in our chest, plus a couple extra. I was killing some of the pillagers around in the area because they are spawning like crazy and attacking me, and I don't want to die from them. So we did have 2 stacks of arrows. I can actually replenish my stack here. Hopefully soon we'll get our enchanting table set up and then we can get hopefully an infinity bow or something that's a little bit more effective at killing. Maybe a flame bow. That would be pretty nice. A flame power infinity bow would be even better. I also expanded my sugarcane, so we got plenty of paper. I'm actually going to come down and start pulling out some of the sugarcane because we don't actually need that much anymore now that we have our bookcases. Again, we might want some for like making books for enchanting and things like that. So we'll leave some of this sugarcane. We'll leave a good amount of it, but we're not going to need so much right this second anymore. So I am going to actually move the sugarcane so that it's kind of down on this end. And that should be plenty for getting books whenever we want them. We also have a ton of sugarcane. I don't know if you saw it in the chest. There's a ton of sugarcane in there. So we are just going to continue to breed the cows so that we have that leather there if we want it. Also some food. And then we can grab sugarcane as we go. But like you can see in this chest, we have already a stack plus 28 plus 26 paper, so we should be good with the sugarcane for now. We are going to actually this episode, like I said, do some building, and you may have noticed this little hole right here. So I am going to show you what I've been doing off camera. And we are going to head down here so that you guys can see what our build is going to be for today. Now, this is going to be the entrance down to the bottom portion of our house. So like I said, I want to build underground and expand that way for our house. We'll have just this house here, and then we'll expand underground for all of our different rooms, our enchanting room, our potions room, our chest room, stuff like that. We'll make a bedroom down there and everything. And I want to do kind of an Alice in Wonderland themed underground. So if you've seen that movie or know the book or anything like that, you will know that in Alice in Wonderland, she falls down a rabbit hole. So this is where that rabbit hole is going to be. It's going to be in the middle of our house. Hopefully we can find a little bit of a better way to kind of open and close the entrance. But for right now, like Alice in Wonderland, it was just a hole. So it's just going to be a hole for now that we will drop down to get down to the main portion. And we have to go down quite a ways because if you see, we're on level 67. So I want our underground to be pretty deep down. So hopefully as we're building our rooms and things, it will be down on diamond level, and then hopefully we can either find some caves and cross them off, close them up so that we can build our house and things like that, but potentially find some diamonds as well. So let's take a look at what I've done here. I didn't want to do all this excavating on camera, so this is what I have been up to off camera. There is a fun little friend down here. If we're lucky, we may get our sniper achievement. Too close. That's all right. We'll just give him some shots here and head on down. I thought that I had this area pretty well lit up, but I guess over here is an area. Hopefully I don't get hit by either of these arrows as we're going down. It's a little precarious here. So let's see, while we head down, what we have going on here. So this is what I have cleared out since the last episode. I'm gonna come up here and put another torch up. Let's see, any other areas that look like they could potentially spawn mobs? Let's get some in these corners. But I came through here and I cleared out this whole area, so we're gonna have to figure out what to do for lighting just because we don't want mobs to spawn down here like that skeleton. But my plan is to do black and white stripes so it looks a little bit trippy as you're coming down. We're gonna start obviously from that area there. I was thinking of going back another level so that it would be this same shape, but where the dirt and stuff is now would be where our colored lines are going to be. But I think I like the idea of having where you come down a couple of blocks and then it starts. So if I end up having to change it, that'll be something I'll do off camera. But for now, what I want to do is fill this all in this episode. And I am going to, what do I have in here? Some iron. I was finding some iron as I was going through. So I'm going to pick this up. And we are going to go and create what we're going to use for this project. So initially I was thinking about using some wool because it would be pretty easy. Why am I not going through here? Come on. Come on. There we go. So I was thinking of using wool. That's why I initially got the sheep so that I could breed them, collect a bunch of wool, shear them. But I just thought for how big this project is, I feel like that would just take way too long. So I went out and I did some collecting just for the beginning of this project. This definitely won't be enough for what we need, but I decided to pick up some gravel, some sand, and some dyes so that we can start making concrete powders. So concrete powders use the gravel and sand plus whatever color you're wanting to do. So we are going to grab a little bit of each of these and then go over to our crafting table. I'm going to take half of each stack so that we get the same amount of each concrete powder so that we can start doing the striping. And we're going to do half black, half white. Like I said, I'm going to try and make it kind of like a trippy, if you guys watch any of Shane Dawson's stuff, like his conspiracy circles. So this isn't going to fill up the whole thing because we're going to need more white dye, but we're going to get lots of this powder. So luckily I was able to find a lot of white flowers. So I was able to get a decent amount of white dye without having to go out and kill a bunch of skeletons to get bones. I had plenty of, I'm not sure what the name of the flowers are, but they're white flowers. It's starting to get night. I don't know if I want to start doing this, so we're gonna wait a second. But I went out and I got a bunch of white flowers to get our dye. I do have more bones, so I could get more white dye and use up the rest of what we have for gravel and for sand. But since we're going to need pretty much a 50-50 split, although some areas are bigger than others and wider than others, so there's going to be certain colors that we need more of. But for right now, I want to start doing a 50-50 split until we get to the point where we're just pretty much going to need one color over the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to turn the powders into actual solid concrete. So I'm going to come over here because I don't want to really mess up a bunch of the water flow. So I'm going to come over here and just drop a bunch of this in here and get our white concrete. So if you don't know how concrete works, you mix together the sand and the gravel, and that gives you concrete powder. And as soon as you put it into water, it turns into concrete. So like if I were to put this powder down out here, it acts like sand. So if I get rid of this block of sand, the concrete powder falls. So what we have to do is we have to put it in the water to make it solid concrete so that when we're building with it, it doesn't fall like that. The nice thing about regular concrete is that it's much more true to color. So like with things like using clay, the terracotta colors aren't like exact colors. Like a lot of people have complained for a long time that white terracotta is pink. It's not white. So these concrete colors kind of fixed that issue because they are like the exact color that you think they would be. The white looks white, the black looks black, everything is the color that you would think. So it's much more similar to coloring with wool. So wool is much more accurate when it comes to colors than like the terracotta is, which I never understood. I always thought that was just weird to begin with, that the terracotta colors were so off from what the actual color is. Like white is pink. I never understood that, but that's how they do it. So this, as you can see, as I'm mining it underwater, it's so much closer to actual like white than pink from the terracotta. So we are just I'm gonna continue to do this. I won't necessarily make you guys watch me do this, so I will be right back after I get all of this concrete made into plain concrete instead of the powder. So I am here still working on my concrete. I've only stopped recording for maybe 2 minutes, and we have a wandering villager that just showed up. I was picking up concrete and mining it up, and all I heard was the little huh of a villager, and I was like, oh my gosh, do I have a wandering villager? So yep, he is right here. Let's see what he has to trade. Let's see. Probably nothing good, because they never have anything good to trade, but let's see. Oh, I could get some, oh no, I have to pay him emeralds for the oak saplings. So really nothing good. Although a pufferfish, not so bad. Brown dye, I don't need that. A white tulip might be good, because that would get us more white dye. Ooh. What should I do? I think I'm going to take some of this dirt and maybe block him in so that he hopefully stays here. Excuse me, sir. Can you come over here? Don't you spit at me. Just come this way and maybe over. No, where you going? Hey, excuse you. Don't be running away from me, fam. I need you to move. No! This is not working how I hoped it would. Don't run away, don't run away, don't run away. I know the second I get something set up, he's gonna like wander off as he does, because he's the wandering villager. He's gonna like come this way with his llamas and run off. No, 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 don't come this way. No, stay in your hole, please. Oh no. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can get him. No, where are you going? Sir, excuse, no, don't run into the ocean. I promise. You'll have a great life here. You'll have plenty of friends and fun times, and it'll be so great, and you're gonna love it. I promise. Just don't run away. No, don't go into the ocean. He's like, you're trying to trap me. I know it. I am, but like, it's because I could get white dye. You know what? Whatever. There's plenty of white flowers around here. If I want to get some, I'll just go get more. Otherwise, you can get in a boat. Want to be in a boat? Yeah, have fun. There, see? And one of his llamas is in the boat. And like, great times. Okay. Back to what I was doing. I will be back. Hopefully he will stay here. Ooh, and I got his lasso. Let's see if I can lasso his llama. Doesn't let me. Won't let me lasso his llama. Well, okay. Bye-bye. All right, you guys. So we are back in the house. I have all of my concrete made now. It took me a little while. I did actually end up killing an Enderman while I was out there. It was like the middle of the day and he was just hanging out around there. So I killed him and he did give me an Ender Pearl. So that's pretty cool. Start off our Ender Pearl collection for going to the end eventually. Also, while I was breeding the cows and sheep off camera, I did kill a couple of phantoms. I only ended up getting one membrane, which I feel like is rare for me. Like normally I get a membrane from every phantom that I kill. Is anybody else like that? Because I only got one and I killed like 4 phantoms. Anyways, so I got a phantom membrane, and that is actually going to be used for entering our little downstairs area, because if I remember correctly, the phantom membranes give you the slow falling potion if you use them for brewing. So that is how we will eventually enter our actual house. Oh, I made another shovel because that one was about to break. But that's actually how we're going to enter our house. So as you guys saw, we have this little diamond shape that's going to go up. Like I said, it'll be the black and white. And we're going to figure out, I think we're just going to do like 1 stripe of each color instead of doing like 2 or whatever. We're just going to, it's going to be black, white, black, white, black, white. And then I came down here And I should be careful. I actually cleared out this area as well. So that is how far down we're actually going to be going until we get to where we're going to be building. So it's going to be actually below that is where our underground is going to start. And we're probably going to go down another 10 blocks after this area. But it's going to go from this big diamond shape down into just this little, it's actually going to be 1 block opening. And so we're going to go down this. It's going to continue the stripes all the way down. So that is where we're actually going to start. So we're going to come all the way down and we are going to start our stripes down at the bottom here. So let's get down here and we can start placing our stripes. And then we're going to have to figure out too how we want to get out of here, because once we come down, we're going to have to figure out how to get back up. So we may just have to have like some kind of, maybe even like another portal of some kind to get back out. I'm trying to think how Alice gets out of Wonderland. I think it's some kind of like little portal type thing in the actual like old school movie. I'll have to look that up. So that might be something we do, is just do some kind of nether portal where we go through the portal into a portion of the nether, and then we have like a little area built out there that looks like, you know, another little room in Wonderland. And then when we come back out of that, then say, you know, you go down a hallway or something, or up a staircase or whatever, and then you can come back out another portal somewhere else, and then you're outside. We'll see what we want to do with that. So for the bottom layer, I think I'm just going to start with white. So this might be kind of difficult coming down. I'll have to test and see how it goes, maybe expand the layers a little bit. I'm going to have to make sure that I'm climbing up as I'm doing this. It's going to be kind of hard to make sure that we're going down to this single spot. We might end up getting stuck. And if that's the case, what I think I'm going to do is probably end up expanding this so that it is like this full area is the drop down, so that like this area around here would be the stripes. Wouldn't be a hard thing to do. I would just have to figure it out, or, you know, go through and do it. But it's not a big deal. So I figure we'll just kind of test this out first and see if it's like an easy thing to do to get down this single block, or if we need to open it up some more. If we do, no big deal. But I'm going to start off doing these stripes. We'll get rid of this. That's another thing. We have to figure out how we're going to light up these stripes. I'm thinking what we might do is potentially go to a sea temple and find some, or even to like those little temples where like drown spawn, and get some sea lanterns and put them in like the white layers, because they're pretty light colored. They would probably pass off just fine as part of the white layer. It'll probably look a little bit different, but not the end of the world. So we can try that out, see how that goes. For right now, we might just have to add torches onto here. It's not going to look the best, but I mean, that's what we'll probably have to do. We're actually going through this concrete a lot faster than I thought we would. So I have a feeling we're going to have to run and pick up some more ink sacs, some more white flowers or bones from skeletons, which is totally fine. Those are pretty easy to get. The hardest part is just going through and getting all of the gravel and the sand. Luckily, we're right on the beach, so that's not too big of a deal. And we also have like that rocky area right next to us, that hilly area, which actually has a lot of gravel. So I'm really happy about that, because I was able to find a lot of gravel really quickly, which for me tends to be the hardest part. It's pretty easy to find sand as long as you can find a beach, but finding gravel is a little bit more difficult, because sometimes you have to go down into the mines to find the gravel. But I didn't have to do that. It was all along that little hilly area, although hopefully I didn't clear it out of all of its gravel. Let's kind of look and see, how this looks. That looks really trippy. I'm really excited about this. So I love Alice in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite movies. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. I do like the new ones with Johnny Depp, actually. I find them to be really creepy. Not creepy, but like, they're very trippy. It's very Johnny Depp. Like, it's just like kind of a creepy, not creepy, like, it's not scary, it's not creepy, but it's like odd, you know? It's that Alice in Wonderland feeling of like going mad, and I think that's really fun. So, fun going mad. But it's just always, it's been one of my favorite movies forever. I've loved it forever. My family always used to say when we were running late, which was pretty frequently, we always said that we ran on our time. And we would always say, I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye, I'm late. And that's from Alice in Wonderland. And that was something that we always said. Oh my God, can you? Absolutely not. I don't want you here. Nobody asked you to be here. How did you get down here? Where did you come from? That's quite rude. Anyways. So yeah, so I love Alice in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite movies ever. It's one of my favorite, I believe it's a Disney movie. One of my favorites. I love it. So as soon as I thought of the idea of doing like an Alice in Wonderland type of thing, I was like, okay, we have to. There's no way that we can't do that. So then here we're going to start building out. So we're going to come out here. We'll just have to replace these torches with other ones. And then go around. So we're already out of black, I think. Yep, we're running out of black. Which is fine. So we'll just have to go kill squids. And I figured this would happen because it's going to take a lot of concrete to go all the way down. That looks so cool. This is going to look so cool when it's done. I might actually do some work off camera just so that I'm not sitting here, you know, putting all this together. But I wanted to at least start it in an episode, so that we can go through and kind of get an idea of what we're doing here. So let's come through here, and I'll probably go off and find some more white dye and black dye within this episode, and then I can, you know, always go through and do all of this and then come back. I am doing this all in survival, so I'm not messing around with any like creative or trying to cut corners to make my build go faster. I am actually sitting and grinding everything out and doing all of that. It's not like I'm cutting because I'm going into creative and getting everything that I need. I am actually going to do it legit because I feel like that's going to be more exciting to me. I was thinking about actually like recording when I'm doing that work off camera and just speeding it up for the video. If that's something that you would prefer to like see me actually doing it, if you feel like you need to see that to make sure that I'm not using creative or anything, I can definitely do that. This looks so cool. This is going to look really neat. And I wasn't sure if I would like doing like just a single stripe of black, single stripe of white all the way up. But I think it's going to look cool because I didn't make the diamond too big. And the slow falling potions are like, you do fall pretty slow. So I think you'll get like a good idea of that trippy black and white type of feeling. And like I said, we can get sea lanterns to put in like the white sections. I don't know how it's going to look here though, because you still are going to see that blue. I don't know if that's going to kind of take you out of it. I was thinking too, I could probably do like a sea lantern and then potentially put like a carpet on top for like this area. But we'll just have to figure it out. We'll kind of see what looks best. I'm not sure if wool shows light through it. If it does, that could potentially be an option too. We'll just have to see. If you hear that buzzing, that's my phone going off. So I'm getting some text messages here. So that's what that buzzing in the background is. This looks so cool. I think what I'm going to do is put, for now, a slime block down there, just in case I get stuck. Although technically I could fill this in. I don't know what I want to do. Well, for now, I think I'm just going to block it up. So I'm just going to put like a piece of dirt there for now so that that's blocked and I don't fall into there. And then I always use this to come up. This already looks really neat. So let's turn these bones into bone meal, and we are probably going to need all of this bone meal into bones. 55 ink sacs. Look at us go. And then we have these, which turn into white dye as well. So now let's take all of this. I'm just going to make all of it. I should have grabbed more of each, but that's okay. I can go back and do that. Okay, I'm actually going to grab more of each of these. Let's just grab all of it and see what we have. I'm going to put this in there. Put this in there. Okay. Let's pop these all in here. I definitely have more than I need, but that's okay. I just wanted to make sure I had enough. And then we'll put our white in. Come on. Do I have... Oh, I have cobblestone in there. I was like, what is going on? Perfect. I thought I was lagging at first, but I was like, So I am going to, between episodes, I'm probably going to get more of the concrete powder. I might actually go through and end up placing everything into the diamond down below, but this is going to be the end of the episode. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, definitely be sure to give it a like and subscribe so that you see more of our progress on our builds. So like I said, give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to see the next episode where hopefully we will have our little Alice in Wonderland tunnel done. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!